Hello, Warriors. BOE done. ECB on deck. Hi, James Groom, AJ, Michael Weissman. Hi, Kman, Ryan. Is it Christmas? Yes. Laura, how are you? Monir, welcome to Face, your new handle. And Richard and team, how are you? So yesterday I talked about this being a bear flag. We broke down. So I think we'll challenge, 101 or so coming up. We'll see. And with that, I expected a recovery in the metals and got more than I expected. So actually, I've seen some people who think this is all we're going to get and we're going. The only other count is, we stall here and dip one more time, but it's hard for me to see what's going to take gold back down if the dollar is still declining. Where's your head at this morning, Ryan?
I don't know. When you find it, mate, let me know.
All right. So, you felt the same thing yesterday. The dollar was just waiting around to get hit. Your reaction to BOE?
Yeah, BOE as expected. Not giving in to the doves. So yeah, that was my plan. I got in some short euro sterling on the back of that just before, but it hasn't really gone anywhere. I thought we might get a bigger reaction. That's typical though. You expect a small reaction on the Fed, you get a big one. You expect a big reaction on the BOE, you get a small one.
Yeah. Well, that kind of looks like a failure that we had there yesterday, Ryan, up here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. And yen making new lows. Doesn't look quite as bad as the Dixie, but doesn't look great yet either.
Well, what was it, near 400, 500 pips yesterday? I think that's big enough for most people.
Yeah, it's a big move. Rates, the Fed surprised, I think, a lot of people. And 10-year yields, I before yesterday, I thought we were going to pop back into this range. Let's see what's happening short term. But
it's funny, Dale, and good morning, guys. I just
hey, guys.
I wanted to say, you say something that I've heard from pretty much everybody across the board. I was meeting with Chris Weston last night from Pepperstone. Everybody says, I expected this, but we got way more than that. and I think it's because the Fed was so dovish yesterday, way more than the market was expecting across the board. So everything has extended. So anyway,
yeah,
I just had to throw that out there. Like when you're like gold, I expected a recovery in gold, and it's like, and we got what we got. I mean, I think you can pretty much look around and go, wow, I didn't expect that.
Yeah. I mean, what a candle. And silver even more outperformed. I remember talking to Kman yesterday, talking about it being at a fib level, the silver at 22.5. So yeah, did you do anything about it, or did it happen too fast, Kay?
No, because I'm going to join the legion of people said that we got way earlier than I expected. That's for sure. So okay. No, I didn't do much, to be honest, with the metals. Certainly not added to my longer term position. So that I did not do. No.
Okay. Well, for people that aren't long, I'm like that too. I mean, take a look at some of the miners. They didn't hold back at all. You had a real nice day in Newmont. So, I mean, basically in one day, we've almost negated this whole retracement. Same in GDX. I know I read Jim Welsh, and he thought after the gold break we had last week that, gold could have been a C up there and that, could go a lot lower. But I mean, even the underperformers in gold, look at the candles they all had. So there's a new high. Here's the silver. I mean, pretty impressive.
And so I got a question, you guys, and good morning, Kman, and because I didn't say hi to you earlier. What do you, at what point do you go, enough is enough? This is too far. I was just, I was just looking at the S&P, and I just went back literally 1 month ago. 1 month ago, we were 7% lower. Now we're at, obviously highs of the year. You know, has the market gone too far in these moves, and what could derail it today, I think is the question. Or today, let's just say between now and the end of the year, what could derail this move to the upside? We have two central banks left, three actually, and I have a couple scenarios, but what do you guys think?
I reckon what Powell gave us yesterday is a big Christmas present to the bond and the equity markets. And I'm going to say perhaps what can derail it is just time, because I don't see this pullback. We are going to see pullbacks, yes, of course, but I don't see this turnaround before the end of the year now. I must say, because he also given, that's what I said on the flow. So he also given us the enough liquidity I mean, looser financial conditions. He put the yields lower, so there's not going to be too much stress over the year end, in my opinion, anyway. And so it's going to be difficult to derail much. We've only got, like, I don't know, 8 or 9 trading days left or so before the end of the year, perhaps a little more. But yeah, I don't see too much derailing this before year end.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking the same thing with, the ECB. Like, what's the ECB going to do today? Unless they really start to tinker with, like, their Ryan, what's the name of the program?
The APP.
Yeah, the PEP program.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that's somewhere somewhat of a kicker today. If they reach a decision to cut back or not, and if they push it back, then that's going to probably weigh a little bit, I would say, on euro crosses. But if they reach the decision and say that they're starting to cut, albeit the amounts being much smaller than what's happening at the Fed, that's probably going to to put a bit of a lift under the euro, and for sure euro dollar probably send it to 110.
I just want to remind everyone, I was thinking about it yesterday when it was happening, but Greg was with us Monday saying that we were in wave 5. Now, I don't think he had the numbers that we achieved for, when he put up his numbers, they seemed aggressive then, but
for which asset? I'll look and find out.
S&Ps.
S&Ps.
He thought we were in 5, that we were going into 5.
Just and 5. I'm looking at his chart right now, Dale, and I'll show everybody when it's time, when I flip over. He was targeting 4770 to 4800. I mean, we came pretty damn close.
Oh God, I thought it was lower than that when he was here Monday.
So yeah, no, I'm looking at his charts. It's his 4-hour charts from a couple of days ago, and then it's that was his target. So
we're almost there, right?
We're pretty close.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's it. I just wanted to, throw it out there that Greg had thought this was not the beginning of a continuation wave, but a 5. And then he also said we'll get a pullback, but then we'll go again.
Yeah, well, looking at his daily charts, I just flipping them up here. Here, how about I'll take the screen since the ECB is in just a few minutes, Dale.
Sure.
We can all have this. We're gonna all have these conversations here. But this is, this is the Elliott Wave tab here on ForexAnalytix. So if you guys want to pull that up yourselves, here's the daily, and this is his daily. So he does see a peak somewhere around these levels, 4,700, I would say. But if you go to the 4-hour from a couple of days ago when we were discussing this is what he was looking for. There's his 5 count, and 4,770 to 4,800, I would say. And we came pretty damn close, right? So, and I was looking at this too with the live charts, and this is just, and I think this is just bonkers, but it's worth noting. This is a month ago, right here. And you can see that is the rally that is taking place. It's a 7% rally in just a month in the S&P. That's a lot of looser financial conditions for the top 10% wealthiest here in the United States. That's for sure. So, Ryan, we haven't heard a lot from you this morning. How are you feeling about the ECB ahead of this? Because I mean, we just had the Bank of England come out, and the BOE voted. Well, tell us a little bit about the BOE in your view.
Yeah, the BOE voted as I thought they might. They kept it on the, what could call it, the hawkish side. It was expected one of the hawks to jump to the hold wagon, but the three hawks stayed voting for hikes. Bailey said it was a close decision whether to hike or hold. The usual "we're not done yet" type rhetoric. So yeah, they were as undovish as I thought they might be. And yeah, the ECB is it's a bit of a coin toss. You know, if it wasn't for that 2.4% inflation, you know, if it was higher, above 3%, I'd be thinking they'd still be hawkish. But it really is a bit of a coin toss, and we're getting the updated forecast as well. So I still think Lagarde will probably be undovish as well. But if she flips, then got to help the euro.
Did you just say undovish or dovish?
Undovish.
Undovish. So she's going to be hawkish. Yeah. Got it.
No, she can be not. She can be unhawkish, but undovish as well. It's the middle road.
So you mean she's not going to have much of a tan?
Oh yeah, I have to. Oh, I haven't got the color chart out. Oh, you reminded me.
You better get that. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Gavin's like untanned, right? She's going to be like no tan today. So untanned. Get your color chart out. I want to know exactly what shade of orange she's going to be. Is it Trumpian orange, or is it more, you know, Florida baking in the sun for, you know, 5 days orange? So I want to know. So, okay, well, Kman, we got the ECB coming up. We talked a little bit about it. What are your thoughts here with the euro? I mean, this is like if you look at the sterling, I'll just point this out, 618 retracement, we're back at it. Euro dollar, 618 retracement is a little further to go, about 109.50. We superseded that before earlier, above 110, but, you know, we're approaching that big key level here. How do you feel about the euro and the ECB today?
Well, I thought the ECB would pivot before the Fed. So yeah, really, I think it's going to be very neutral. And as I said, the kicker to be that QE, QT, PP, whatever you want to name it. If she comes out a little bit, because we have to make the distinction between the statement and the presser, I think very much. But if she comes out a little bit more dovish, then I think some euro crosses are going to get hit pretty hard, like euro commods and stuff. Mm-hmm. If she comes out a bit more hawkish than what may be expected, then probably your euro dollar is back at 110.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of moves in these euro crosses too. I mean, we've seen the euro sterling obviously come under pressure this morning. You've got the euro Aussie that has tried to break down through some horizontal support here, and you know it's making a bit of a recovery, which, you know, that's always one of those, okay, that just happened and stocks are looking a little weaker this morning. And this is one of the things that kind of makes me, you know, wonder about where we are in equities. Euro New Zealand's made a little bit of a recovery, and the Euro Swiss still looks really good. Tell us about the Swiss National Bank today.
Yeah, that was as good as a pivot as one can expect from Jordan being such a hawk. But yeah, he said they could be they're done. They left some reference to buying Swiss out. So a bit more dovish than it was. We've got 30 seconds to the ECB.
Oh shit. Thank you very much. It is I just lost track of time. So here's the ECB meeting. Let's watch. Now this is going to be their statement. So, and then remember, we'll have her pressers in 30 minutes after. Is it 30 minutes? I have to double check that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's ever since the time change, I'm all screwed up. Here is just intraday 15-minute chart. probably find some support right here. Here we go.
Unchanged.
Unchanged.
Inflation has dropped in recent months. Rate level will contribute substantially to reaching 2%. Rate must be maintained for a sufficiently long time. Sees 2024 inflation at 2.7%, down from 3.2%, still above target. We'll set
Okay.
interest rates at sufficiently restrictive levels. We'll keep reinvesting fully in PEP bonds in first half of 2024.
So the PEP program,
keep the PEP
nothing
going,
is going to just derail the equity markets on from that point of view.
So non-dovish is that by the looks of things.
Non-dovish. I like it. Non-dovish, non-hawkish, untanned is the way she's going to be today. Anyway, we'll watch the euro. So not a lot of excitement there, but there was excitement in the Norges central bank, which surprisingly raised rates today. It was a surprise to me. I didn't think they were going to raise rates today, but they did. What are your thoughts on that, Ryan?
Do you want to just ask Kay about that one? Because I'm just banging up the headlines.
Okay, Kman,
Yeah,
what are your thoughts about the Norges central bank here?
Yeah, that was a slight surprise. They did say last time that December was a possibility, that there was a lot of data to come through, and then since we had a bit of a lower CPI, the market priced it out, and now they went after all. So the Norwegian kroner really ramped up while you guys were asleep this morning. Took the market a little bit by surprise. There's I think there's that is really that red line, blue line there, 1060 is going to be your point of measure now, right? Whether we close above or below. But it's really put the cat amongst the pigeons. And you know what? If risk continues to do better, which we may expect, after the Fed, the Norwegian kroner could be one of those who benefits from it.
Yeah. Oh, so let's, I think we should keep a really close eye on the US dollar Norwegian krona, because also what we're seeing is we're seeing a rally back in crude. It was one of the things that I talked about last night on the trade-off show. It's like, hey, thanks, pal. If you're thanks, Powell, not thanks, pal. Well, you could say thanks, pal. Thanks, pal for being my pal. If you're long crude, because this little move that the Fed has done is probably put in a low in crude oil now. We should probably pivot off of this support here, and if that happens, that's going to be another tailwind for the US dollar Norwegian krona, or the krona, basically lower, right?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah. It should be. I'm just looking at some stuff here. Well, some of those euro crosses. There wasn't much in the ECB, and they're still going to reinvest PPP until end of 2024. So I'm wondering why some of those euro crosses are a little bit better bid. Maybe just a dollar thing,
Yeah, well, and liquidity is starting to probably thin out a little bit. Hey, real fast, we do have we have Banxico today, and this is going to be. I bought a little bit of dollar MEX yesterday, and you can see it's it's spiking higher as we go. We're going into Banxico today. Are they going to hint towards a cut? Which they're
usually not too far. Behind the Fed, and also the real rates are pretty high. And last time already, they hinted that they may be done. So cut, maybe not, because the inflation was a little bit sticky, but Deutschland, there's a fair possibility there.
All right. Well, the 200 DMA is not far away, and I know we're in this triangle formation, so we get above 1755 here, guys. This is one of those that if for some reason you start to see some profit taking in stocks because of this, very, very strong move. By the way, we just got to the 127% extension, almost. Well, I mean, within that's horseshoes and hand grenades, close enough in the S&P.
USDMX is really, and you identified it, Blake, a week or so ago near those lows, really has held up well with risk on.
Which I'm sorry, what has?
The USDMX.
Yeah,
You
and
identify,
so
yeah,
yeah,
it didn't sell off with this huge rally in S&Ps.
it hasn't, and I'm wondering if it's it's whether it's telling us something or not. I think if we get above the 200 DMA and you start to see some profit taking in equities for whatever reason, this is the day after the Fed. Yesterday we got an outsized reaction because like we've all said, we got a little bit more than we had anticipated. I've listened to a lot of different analysts over the last 16 hours or so, and everybody almost universally is like, wow, wow, he was dovish, so the markets have obviously responded. Now, how they follow through today is going to be key. And so if we see a little bit of profit taking today, yeah, $1 and you have maybe a more dovish Banksco, as Kman's alluding to, we could see the $MEX trading above the 200 DMA today. And I think that's worth noting. AJ had asked about the dollar Canadian. I'll share with you. Well, I'll just share with you the analysis here, because it's the same analysis that I was just about ready to give you. If you look at the dollar CAD, and we just reached the 127% extension at 134.35, oversold. And you got to be a little careful here. If we continue to slide, the 161% extension is 134, but we are at 127% extension and, probably a little oversold here intraday. So, and you can see the dollar CAD's trying to make a little bit of a pivot off of that, but I wouldn't get too excited about it, unless for some reason we got back above here, which is about 134.85, I think is what the number I was looking at before. If we get it back above here, this is where the CAD starts to
Commodity
turn.
currencies outperformed yesterday, as
Oh yeah.
So something I've mentioned.
Yes, and Dale, here's the other thing. We had great employment out of Australia, huge beat last night. Now New Zealand GDP was way weaker than expected. That's a risk, I think, right now for the Kiwi, especially that we came right into this resistance zone. But that print was really weak, actually. But look at this Aussie. This is one thing that again, this is where you start looking around and you go, wait a second, you got the peso's weak, you got the Aussies not looking so hot, even after this risk on move, even after a huge employment beat last night. What's going on here? These are the things that kind of are raising a little bit of a red flag as the stock market continues to extend higher. These are the things that stand out to me as, wait a second, should we really be trusting this? And Ryan, I want to thank you really quick for posting the Christine Lagarde chart in our chat rooms here. Can you tell us how to interpret this?
Well, the colours speak for themselves, mate. If she's slightly pale, it's hawkish. If she's really orange, it's dovish.
So she's going to be Amazonian bronze today? Is that what you're expecting?
Yeah, they're all between there and tea stained dawn. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for posting that, because that is going to be the best guide that we have about the ECB today during the press conference, I would say. So really appreciate that. Hey guys, we got about 5 minutes. Dale, unprecedented moves in equities. I remember we were just talking about 4,600 last week, going, well, maybe. Here we are today. What are your thoughts here, Dale, as we go into the last couple of days of the week, and don't think we won't be here tomorrow, because we will be. So at the same time, same bat channel, same bat time. But what do you think here?
I would take Grega's numbers seriously. So that's what I think.
So you think that we really need to be paying attention to hey, wait, there's Andre. Andre was looking at
he's got a
he was looking
here.
For a little bit lower, so it extended a little higher. So Grega's levels around the 4770 to 4800. Maybe one more new marginal high, because you have to imagine markets aren't open yet, equities aren't open yet. We got futures are just kind of floundering around. You know, there might be a flurry of buying coming in, you know, right at the open, and that could be the, you know, what takes us above 4750 today. So
it's about to become parabolic. So, you know, talk to someone who thought that the first quarter was going to be historic to the upside. And it's, you know, because our narrative right here, what's going to stand in the way of people flooding into equities now that the market believes the Fed's out of the way? We'd have to see some type of, I know some people were looking for about 370, 360 in the 10-year, and then for it to head up to new highs. But, you know, that's going to take some time. But definitely long the world.
There are no bears out there, right? There's no one's bearish. I mean, you may have retail trying to fade this, but everybody institutionally, everybody's on the same side right now. So does that scare you a bit?
It was like Santa Claus. You know, I also, having a weak dollar going for it, hard to fade anything, short anything when the dollar's weak.
True.
And yesterday was just the first day of the breakdown. And I think we go back towards that, you know, 10100 level. So I don't think that's going to be negative for anything.
All right. Well, let's go to Ryan. What are your thoughts going into today? It's been one hell of a market going into you know, all these central banks. What's hot on your radar right now?
Going into today, we've done about 2 days today already. Some of what you
True.
Yeah, I'm just in I'm in monitor mode. I've got these euro sterling shorts on, so I'm just going to see if the guard maybe is a little bit more dovish in the presser. Just managing dollar yen shorts that I finally got into yesterday. Bit of a chase.
Nice, Ryan.
I'm finally in. And like you were saying earlier about, you know, what can derail this. I think you just got to be a bit careful. Don't chase anything down at lows like dollar yen. Don't chase it down at the lows. I think what the market has done, it's finally got its confirmation. It's been pricing hikes for weeks. Finally got the confirmation that it's coming. That might have just you know, let some of the pressure out the valve. And as Barry said, I had the same thought earlier this morning. You know, maybe that will suck out a bit of volatility now, because no one's going to be expecting it anymore. No one's going to be running around pricing it. It knows it's coming. The market can settle down a bit, do what it needs to do the rest of the year, and start afresh in 2024.
All right. Well, we are definitely inching into the end of the year.
Until Michael, those retail sales come out and we go.
Yep, I was going to say, Michael just brought up a great point. We do have to get ready for retail sales here, and some jobless claims data, obviously. So, Kman, as I'm setting up, what are you thinking here?
On the dollar, let me see those retail sales, but really, I'm looking at a relative positive risk picture. So stuff like Euro Aussie, as I said it already, I'm a bit long cat Swiss as well, Euro Aussie. I'm gonna buy dips if I see a decent dip in silver, perhaps. I'm relatively positive towards risk here. I'm looking perhaps at another Swiss short against something else, perhaps just Euro Swiss, but yeah, I'm relatively positively oriented towards risk.
I love the Euro Swiss right now. It looks really constructive. It's getting close to that 38% retracement. one of my setups from last night, but I've been playing on the long side pretty aggressively. So I like that Euro Swiss. I like being short Swiss francs here. So
yeah, gotta overcome 15.25 there, 95, 15.25.
all right, jobless claims better than expected. Continuing claims better than expected.
Retail sales good.
Can't bet against this consumer, I tell you. Dale's out spending money, and it shows right here. You can see the retail sales just blowing out expectations. Wow, good data. It's going to be a real tricky because you're now seeing the dollar percolate higher against some of these commodity currencies, dollar yen, you know, and the euro is obviously going to be waiting on the ECB press conference coming up and seeing what kind of tan lines. Oh, I don't even want to think about tan lines on Christine Lagarde. Let's just talk about tone of tan. How about that? And with that being said, and I'm going to put that image right in Ryan's head, so it's just like searing into his eyes about
it was already there,
lines
mate.
on
It was
Christine
already
Lagarde.
there. It was already there.
So, Dale, I want to thank you for guiding us every single day. Kman, I want to thank you for your insights on every central bank today. It's priceless, and it's so valuable to our community. And Ryan, thanks for leading the charge on the Flow Show. If you guys aren't listening to Kman and Ryan every day, you should be, because it's a free show that we have while I'm sleeping and Dale's sleeping. And Dale, have a great interview today.
Okay, thanks, Stream Team.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. So Norges, how are you? Welcome back to F.A.C.E.
Hi, Dale. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and
Oh,
clear.
hi.
Welcome.
Yes. Welcome. Thank you for having me again. And happy holiday. At least the season is on with the good green stuff. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Champagne bottles were uncorked yesterday. So I know you do a lot of work with cycles and price projections. So I'm assuming you might be getting some targets in the S&Ps towards 6,000. Is that a good guess?
Yeah. So remember, we already had the cycle reset in 2021 itself. Once
you want
to
show your screen, Norges?
Yes.
Maybe
I was just going to do that.
Okay.
Share. Can you see the screen?
Yes. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. So we had the how do I want this to.
We're looking at the T-note yield.
Maybe put it here. Yeah. So we did have the cycle reset in 2021 when it took out 4557. After that, we got some similar kind of euphoria back then, and it hit 4800, and then from there it crapped it down. Now we are back in the same zone, and we are seeing the same power again, right? Since mid-October or late October.
Yes.
And
very, very powerful rally in 2 months.
Yes.
And 6 weeks actually. No,
yes.
2 months.
And the moment it hits 463, it just powered 10 points just like that, like in a matter of one day, just FOMC as an excuse. So the cycle reset was to 7,569, and the midpoint is 5,185, 5,185. So now again, earlier this black line was an important extension, and the retest to where ES generally likes it. And happily, we, crapped down from there. And this zone, I had mentioned that it has taken quite a bit of time to move out of here. So it should have some meaning in the sense that it should serve as a demand if this price was to come down. And it did exactly that. It used this as a demand and powered back up in October, late October. And now it is above this black line. Now, again, this little bit of head, we are like, 25 points short of all-time high with the new ES contract, 4808.25. So that is this two tiny candles is pending. And now the question is, do we take this out? And then another question which poses is, if we take this out, then how far do we go? right? Do we hit the mid cycle or do we hit the full cycle 7,569? Now, again, short term, it is run a lot and no rest and everything. Fed movement yesterday, the 4-hour candle is too big. Will it give back 50% of yesterday's move? It is possible. All that stuff, everyday stuff. I call that as an everyday stuff, moving up, moving down. But overall, the trend, we are still very close to this black line, and what happens around this orange and green will again define whether we are getting the new all-time high and we are staying above the new all-time high or not. So again, we are still here, and the decision is still not in whether it's a start of a new bull market or it's not there. But the cycle to 7,569 was done at in 2021. Now, an interesting thing.
We're here, and you have some guidelines. How do you trade it? How is that actionable, or is it just wait and see levels being achieved?
So right now, I would be planning to exit some of my longs. I have been in growth stocks because one of the things which I had noticed is that the growth stocks, which had kind of literally gone to the doghouse in 2022, now they're starting to come back up. Now, mostly they are still in technical repair. If you see on a monthly basis, a lot of damage has happened. So now most of them are running your Zscaler, your Snow, your Team, your DDog, Datadog, and everything else. All the small caps, because RTY has sat above an important resistance, 1863. Above that, which it can get very bullish, and it is one of the laggard.
What are growth stocks that you're talking about? You're talking about Russell?
Yeah, mostly Russells. Yeah, but I don't know if certain individual stocks would be small caps or not. I don't know if Snowflake and all would still be small caps, but I call them the doghouse stocks because the damage which they had during the 2022 fall is quite big, right? See this big candles?
Yes.
I don't know. Is this in between the? So now they are trying to find a traction, mostly technical repair to get some retrace up. So I've been mostly trading those because your fangs did run quite a bit from the lows, and now they're thinking probably the relay race, they will be the last one to take out or support the indices to continue going higher, if going higher is the thing from here. So I'm thinking they will be and plus earnings season starts mid January with the techs, so they still have a time to take the indices to the next level, if at all. So I'm kind of thinking in that way. And the other thing is, if we see this, let's go here. Interesting thing I saw is plus. See this. Oh, this is still 1 month, 12 month. See these 3 candles, yearly candles, right?
Yeah.
The height is exactly the same, around 4,800. All 3 of them. This is 47.99 something. This is 48.08, and this is almost 47.81. It's a current candle, running candle. And if at all we were to look at it, then 3 candles on a yearly basis can be a breakout. If that is the case, how powerful can it get? So that's what I will be watching. If it is a breakout on a yearly basis, will it rush towards the cycle number 7569? If that is the case, then it will be fireworks. So this is what another data point I'm watching. How it does, how it goes, and what strength it has. So
well, you know what they say: the biggest moves are near the end. So there is a chance of us just going parabolic now, right?
Yes, it's highly possible, and yes, once it goes, it just goes without. And all your technical, traditional technical indicators like your RSI and everything, just sits there as if they don't have any meaning at all. So since October, there has been no rest. It hasn't done a meaningful retrace back, and it still has the power to go. So something which I will closely watch this. NQ as well. NQ, I think it was the more cleaner. So similar, NQ is already broken out. NQ has already made a new all-time high without the things which makes it, like, without the Fangman tea. Only Apple is the one almost. Apple made a new all-time high, and today possibly it will take out the all-time high, which it made 198.26. So these are the only two things running. Rest of the fangs are not in sync with the with its index.
Yes.
So that's why I'm thinking
NVIDIA is dragging its feet a bit.
Yes, NVIDIA is
Wow.
485. 485. It stabilizes around 485. It will hit that pre-market aftermarket earnings day 518. It had hit, right? So it will hit that and probably higher. So it does have a higher cycle. I mean, all the fangs have a higher cycle. Like Apple had 361. Remember, last time we talked about Apple has 361. So that is there. Your Facebook, Meta. Meta is there. Google. Google, your Amazons, they are having some issue around your around this supply. This is the one where most, including the indices, have the issue right now. The indices have gone past this upper part of the head. Now, some of the stocks, they are lagging behind, and if everything goes, then probably all this will power with your growth stocks having lot to run. Because they are very much they're still down from this fall. So if we are to catch up, they will have a lot to catch up, basically. Your BA.
What kind of downside targets you have in things like the dollar and upside in gold or silver? They had huge days too.
Yes. So here your dollar is sitting around 103, 102, 103. Now it falls back. You have your 100. That's also your mental number. Last time it came back above. It went there and it came back. Now this is where your, again, 9900 is where it's there, and this line has not been tested. If it wants to break, we can see 96 to 93 coming down, if at all it breaks this 100 and this low of July, last July. So kind of a double topish, if at all, we can say that. Your GC, this is again posing a problem. Late 20s, 2085 or something. It goes there, spikes, gives a good feeling, but then smacks down. One of the things is the gold futures have not filled the gap at 1848. So that anomaly is there, and a gap on future, it generally fills it. It is taking time for gold, but eventually that will get filled. So again, I'm still waiting for it to do it as soon as possible, so that going out of here becomes at least more cleaner, let's say, right? So again, it is
interesting.
1848
gap, huh?
Yes, 1848 gap. So that 18. Is 1800, 18th century.
1848. Okay. So that would just be a little shade above the low at 1810.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. The dollar heading lower and gold pulling back $100. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, when they want to fill the gap is anybody's guess, because ES also had a contract gap around 4207 or something, and remember, it went all the way till 4600 and it came back from there till 4200 to just fill that gap. Right. So so 500 points, it just gave it away. So will it repeat? Possibly, yes. We still have a contract gap around 4600, early 4600, when the contract changed last week. So that that 100 points giving away would not be a surprise in the ES, basically, to fill that gap. And gold also, then they generally, it gives a cleaner move. I feel. I mean, if those gaps are not filled, then we can have a repeat. I mean, 2016 gaps were not filled. We went all the way crazy to 2020, and then we came back all the way to fill the gap there. And we had a crash, we had COVID, we have everything else, right? So,
yeah, I
clean
mean,
moves.
I think that people should know that even though gaps over time could be filled,
Yes,
that if you're making a trade based upon a gap fill, it could take time, and you could be carried away with price before that ever happens. So
yes, definitely, especially in today's time when the trading is more algorithmic.
yes,
The human timing is not as right as it used to be. Let's say that. So
yes.
we can keep calling bear, macro, but it will keep
I'm going to have an
screwing you.
AI chip implanted in my head.
Yes.
Huh? What do you think?
Who knows?
And I
Maybe
could
you
just
already have it,
visualize.
Dale.
Huh?
Maybe you already have it. You and I, maybe,
Oh,
we got the
yes, we are.
vaccine.
Yes, that's right. We already have chips. That's right. Good point.
Probably.
Yeah. All right. So
So,
what else are you paying attention to? And tell me how things are going with the people you work with, and what's going on with you and the business and mentoring people. Are you enjoying it?
yes, I definitely enjoy. This is one thing, rain or shine, feeling well or not feeling well. I am excited to get up in the morning, especially, Pacific time, it's 5 a.m. I mean, it's early morning, right? So it's one thing I enjoy a lot. Another thing which I enjoy a lot is working with people. I'm more of a mentor, like kind of a teacher. I do that the best, and
Okay.
analyzing the markets. It gives me a lot of energy and a lot of happiness when I say, okay, it is going to happen, and when it does happen, it gives me great happiness that, okay, it's working as we design. And when people say, hey, Nargis, we made money because we took that setup, or we followed what you had posted, it makes me happy that it made somebody else's day. So
Okay.
that
Yeah,
is there.
it's
Yeah.
rewarding. Do you find yourself on certain days not having the patience to teach?
Yes, I mean, we are human beings, right? There will always be days like that where you are, not up to your mark, or you're not feeling that great or something. Especially
Yeah.
this year has taught me a lot. Personally, it has been a very challenging year with health of
Yes.
the child and my mother and my own self, and money going out the door like anything, like, so on
Yeah.
personal basis. So even now I'm just waiting for these 20 days to go away so that I can officially close 2023 on a personal basis. So that
Okay.
thing has taught me that, you know you will be surprised by people. That is one thing. There are a lot of good people in the world who will come out and help you, and be there for you. So that is there.
Oh,
So always
that's
be,
that's
yeah,
beautiful.
always
So
believe in
I mean,
human. Yeah,
I experienced that when I was going through a health crisis with
yeah.
the community of traders. So does it also teach you something about that perhaps we make our performance, the markets, money too important? Because when you're really challenged in life, you're not thinking about your best trades. Like you said, you're thinking about the relationships you have with people.
Yes, definitely. Life has a way to teach you, and the materialistic thing at some point does take a backseat, or it makes you realize that, why are we running all this much for, right?
Yeah.
What happens in the end, right?
Yeah.
My mom, she ran after all of these things her whole life, trying to provide for us, trying to make sure she saves money. But what happened? She was not able to use that money at all for her. And it's, lying in the bank. Me sitting here in the US, not able to use that Indian money. What's the point in the end? Right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's
so,
so
th-
the yeah. Go ahead.
so those
Go ahead.
things do come out, and
Yeah.
you do learn. You do learn. I have started taking care of my health a little bit more. I've lost a lot of weight, which is good.
Okay.
and
You know.
and yes,
Okay.
this is
Well,
one thing I enjoy.
Nargis, you're a warrior. you know,
I
and
I do hope so. I think so.
you know,
I would
you're
like
here.
to think so.
I know what you know, you've gone through some you know, a bit, and you know, you got up this morning and you're showing your numbers and you're still trading, and you know, all of us here at ForexAnalytix are fans of yours and supportive of you, and glad to have you here. So, you know, in this business, Nargis, you're only as good as your last trade. So,
Yes,
have you realized that?
of
Or your
course.
last quarter or whatever. So, we're wrapping up the year, and you and I want to see it pass and a fresh start. What do you
Yes.
think is going to be the big story in the markets for 2024?
2024, there are two things. One is, as we said, we are close to all-time high. So I definitely want to see what happens around all-time high. And then it is an election year, right?
Yeah,
So, so, you know, generally the narrative is that,
hopefully,
yeah. So
hopefully
will
we
it
have
follow?
one.
Yes. So, I mean, that is also there. So, you know, it can be a surprise as well. And if people, I mean, I know this year people were very macro-ish, like, you know, the macro is here, the economy is here, the recession is coming, the inflation is all that stuff. And
Yeah,
then there was war as well. So people
yeah,
were a lot bearish. But one of the things which I was thinking is people are important. Even the government realizes that, even the Fed, I mean, the government is as good as the people, right? So if everyone is frustrated across the world, they are losing faith, then will the carpet be pulled under your feet? I was thinking not. And the Santa should come in order to give hope that all is not bad in the world. So from that psychological viewpoint, I had faith in the rally from October, where it went to that extension of, you know,
yeah,
4100.
4100. Yeah,
Yes, because that was a good test on top of the demand. And
right.
so, you know, it's very important to read people as well, why and what they're doing. So that one saying which I had heard long time ago, it always keeps coming in my head is, you know, just force the hand so much that you bend the people, not break them.
Okay,
So
okay,
right now in October, that was exactly the thing. You know, we have bended the people more than enough and they were ready to break. So, you know, just give them a relief and here we are. So,
okay.
so
So, okay, so we have in front of us going into next year a potential runaway bull market for the first quarter. And
I think so. Probably
okay,
yes. Again, it all depends on 4761 to 4832. What happens, or let's say 4900. You know, a cleaner number.
yeah,
This, well, yeah. I mean, short-term pullbacks will always be there, but after this adjustment, once it releases its pressure, then the real move starts. Right now, it's all too much pressure, right? So once
yeah.
this pressure gets relieved, it adjusts itself 100 points or something, then it regains back the numbers, then you know, okay, we are back in business.
Okay, so 4600 is probably a pretty important level. And you
Yes,
know, just that,
4557.
okay, so just a measured move from say 46 and 41 and a breakout over 46. That gives you 5100. So just
Yeah.
for an arithmetic target, and I do
Yes.
know some people that are talking about it. I know there are targets all over the place. I talked to someone that actually is, you know, in your ballpark, you know,
Yeah.
6 to 7,000 S&Ps first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
In the first quarter.
Oh, in first quarter, oh my God, that is like 2000 points, right? I
Yeah.
mean, crazier things have
I,
happened, so why
I
not?
look, you know, everything and anything can happen, and you know, keep an open mind. It'll keep your
Keep an
account
open mind. Yes.
open. Yeah. So
5185, I can say, yes, that is doable in first quarter because that's what, another 300, 400 points
yeah.
by end of first quarter. That target at least is doable if, you know, we stay above the current all-time high. That is
Okay.
doable. But 7,569, I would say it may need more power. But again, who am I to say that?
Yeah,
Let
you would
Dal
think
work this out.
that would take a year or so. or at least, you know, many, many, many months. So, you
Yeah,
know, the biggest moves happen at the end, right?
yeah.
So
Yes,
if this
yes,
is, you know, if this is a blow off wave in the S&Ps, you know, we've been in a bull market since 1982.
yes.
So we're already 40-year bull market. It should be end with fireworks. And I thought it was over in 21 when you had things like SPACs and memes and
Yeah,
crypto, and you know that we already had the hallmarks of a mania, but I guess we're
yes,
going to have one on steroids here. So
yes,
great talking
definitely.
to
And
you.
yeah, and one of the things also to keep in mind, if I'm not wrong, is that when this low was made, this this
Yeah,
2020,
yeah.
2174, I think it was made in the night. I mean the Globex time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so you have that one data point to keep in mind always.
yeah. You know
If at all,
the gold high last week was made in Asia.
yes.
You know when we were what 100 higher, and then came
Yeah,
in just a
2152.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
that's not the first one, and I didn't know that low was made in Asia. So, you know, a lot of people look at Asia and say, you know, it's not a great session, it's not as liquid, especially in FX, but that's changing now with what's happening with the yen. Do you
yeah.
follow the
So,
yen at all?
sorry, what was that?
Do you follow the Japanese yen at all?
Yeah. I do. Because it is one of the indicator. At least it used to be, the prediction for S&P. You know,
Okay, right.
if it is going up, then your SPX is. I mean, your S&P is good. You know, it'll see bullishness. So that is
Okay,
definitely there, and we do have the monthly candle coming back up. Your RSI kind of double bottom, and this is a W actually. So if that is the case, then we have
yeah,
yen higher,
yeah,
going
yeah,
higher. So yeah,
right.
at least in older days. I mean, older days is pre 2016 era. I think
Yeah,
before the algos took over. So these
right.
correlations were very much clean. Now these is all mangled up.
All
Sometimes they'll
mangled
be
up.
very uh, correlated. Sometimes they will not be correlated. Like for example, Nasdaq is making a new high without the
Yeah,
things participating, which makes it,
yeah,
the seven top stocks, they are
yeah,
the biggest holder and they are going nowhere, I mean, except Apple, and
yeah.
it's making a new
Amazon's
high.
gone nowhere. Right. You're
Yeah,
right.
so how crazy is that? So
Yeah,
so
yeah,
these are the things always keep in mind. It's squad witching, if the index is balancing. So that narrative, I said, it will take precedence and Powell should follow the narrative in order to give the balancing a relief. So that's happening. And sometimes people call me crazy, but these are the data points, the human beings, what your indices are doing and what the stocks which makes up the indexes are doing. So across the board, if a little bit of permutation and combination, then you kind of stay on the right side of the market.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was the right side of the business when you got into it and poured your heart into it. So,
Yeah.
do you want people to, you could follow Nargis at Nargis007. Do you have a website or anything, or you just,
I
you
did create a
do?
website. Yes, I
Oh,
did.
okay. Let's
So
see it.
so yes.
So you
So
could go to, go ahead.
I'm trying to turn over a new leaf in 2024. So let's see how good it can get.
Okay. Well, I'm rooting for you, and I hope
Thank you,
2024 is
Dale.
filled with the opposite of 23 for you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dale. And you know what the most important data point?
What's that?
Date with Dale results
Oh,
in buying puts.
all right.
And you know where we are, right? I mean, where it is. So
Yeah,
it
I
wouldn't hurt.
really, I really enjoyed
Yeah,
catching up with you, Nargis, and I'll
me
be
too,
in
Dale. Thank you so
I'll,
much.
I'll be in touch. Maybe S&Ps will be 7,000 the next time we're together
Yes, you
on a
heard it
date.
here.
All right.
Thank you.
Nargis Motorola Walla. Everyone check her out. You see her handle right there. It's two R's, Narrgis. Secret Agent 007, and check out her website.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Appreciate it, my trading warrior sister. Thank you.
Thank you, and happy holidays and a happy new year to you and the team as well.
Thank you,
Lovely
Norges.
people.
Okay, so that's a wrap, everyone. Gosh, one more day. Good luck the rest of the day. I hope you enjoyed Norges. He's very good. Thanks, Amira. Patrick, take it easy. Everyone, good hunting. And don't just count your pips, count your blessings. See you for TGIF tomorrow. Glad you enjoyed it, George.